Good morning, students. Welcome back to the session of social studies. It's me, Jashrin, and once again, as we are moving in the topic natural rhythms of the earth, just we have completed some context of topic, and now we are entering into the new part of the continuation of the same chapter. This we are going to conclude some more important concepts in this session today. So, in this part, once we will recapitulate what we have been discussed in the previous class. Once we will go through the topic which we have been completed, right. So, for example, which we have discussed natural rhythms of the earth, work of water and work of waves, and we have seen and how this work of waves and work of water and how the push of water creates different types of landforms and like valleys and like a V-shaped valleys and canyons, and so we have discussed, right. And work of air, due to the air pressure, how the landforms will be changing time to time, and the portion of the land which structures in a different region. Let us switching to the main concept. Now we are going for the work of glaciers. Work of glaciers. So, what is glaciers, right? So, did you heard this name any time? Yeah. So, glaciers generally if you find some highest peak mountains will be there, right. So, why some landforms which we declared it is a mountain, right. So, more than 1000 meters and 1000 and 4000 minimum meters of height as it goes deep into the sky, right. So, due to this the peak, so edge part of the mountain which is called peak. So, this peak always due to this evaporation and percolation process and precipitation process, it is completely covered with the snow covered region. So, what happens now, just for a mean for the time being, when it is dries up, for example, when it gets a warm temperature, this snow will melt and comes in the form of ice pieces. Okay, Nana? Comes in the form of ice pieces. So, these ice pieces, when it travels from top to bottom, so it turns into a different shapes. It turns into a different shapes. How? Why? Let us, these highest mountains where they are available, for example, now we are going to see. So, in European countries, you find the highest peak here, Mount Alps. Right, this is the highest peak where you could get the snow covered regions. Okay, next, in India, in our country, you find peaks like Himalayas. We have three ranges. Okay, it starts from north east to north west portion. Okay, Nana. So, this is maximum Himalaya, the youngest folded mountains, especially in India, it is having a scope of snow covered region. So, now we are going to study how this snow turns into glacier. Okay, ma? How this snow turns into glacier. As we are studying about the peak which is covered with the snow. When winter season, the evaporation, the precipitation process will be more here due to the cloud interaction, due to the fog mist interaction. And when it comes winter, when it comes winter, I mean summer, so it can't dry, but it gets little bit warm temperature, warm temperature, warm temperature. When it gets warm temperature, these snow covered region starts melting and it travels in different source of the way where it has a source of region. While it traveling from peak to down, wherever the gaps are there, it rushes the ice pieces, those are called ice pieces. So it rushes up and it like a polish, likewise it will be moving and it erodes, okay, the piece of rocks with the moving of the land region. It carries the glaciers from one place to another place. These glaciers from snow to down in the form of glacier, this movement, how it happens? Because this movement happens only with the source of Earth's gravity. This glacier's movement happens only with the source of force of Earth's gravity. When this movement which is coming from top to bottom, no? So this process is called plucking. What is that? Plucking. That means it is ready to get a source of water, right? That means the fog mist, the mist turns into the next stage, glaciers like ice tops and ice pieces. The next, these ice pieces is ready to give a source of water, right? So that water, the process of movement from top to bottom, okay, this movement will happens only with the source of gravity, right? So this gravity creates this pressure of movement. So this process of movement is called plucking, okay, this process of movement is called plucking. So what is the action when it comes from top to bottom? So for example, how we use sandpaper to polish the wood, how we use the sandpaper. That means the hardest materials or hardest sticky things, when we rub the sandpaper, it becomes very soft. So like that, so the glaciers, while it travels from one place to another place, it carries lots of the sand or soily thing which is accumulated in the form of ice, and it gives a pressure. While it is moving, the region will be surfacing with the flat as the shape of the ice, how it looks like, okay ma. So while it is moving, it is also giving another source of creation of landform. What is that? Shall we have a look? Okay, so this process, that means the mountain top position to down position, the glaciers, okay, the movement which gives a soft corner of where the gaps are there, so it will be come and fall into that. It erodes the glaciers like ice plates, like ice spaces, and this also create the shape of valley. So these valleys are called U-shaped valleys. Okay, Rana? So this creates a U-shaped valley. Actually, these valleys are called some low altitude region when comes from top portion to down portion. In between you find these types of, and finally push of water, it may create the U-shaped. Yeah. So imagine, is it that much force is running by the glaciers? Yes, glaciers have that much capacity of pulling the land surface into different shapes. Is it true? Is it possible? Right. So this is about the work of glaciers. I hope you understand up to here. Shall we go for the next context? So next, work of waves. Work of glaciers we have seen. Now we are going to see what is work of waves. Generally, for example, imagine it is a sea or ocean, for example. Okay, so what is waves? Where do we find waves? How the waves comes? To form the waves, formation of waves, there are lots of factors are denoting here. Due to some factors, what are those? First one is rotation process, Earth's rotation process. Okay, this is one factor here. While it is a rotation process, we will get wind pressure. Next, other than these, we find several other factors. How we will get a waves? So this is waves. I mean, this is tides. Okay, and these are waves. Okay, ma? So these are tides and these are waves. Up and down, the arithmetic fall of up and down. You can just see, you can't imagine these waves. Okay, these waves, any doubt? No doubt face bit. So if you just look the shape of the ocean or a sea, we can't go inside of the ocean or a sea, right? I'm just giving brief outlook of these, how the water changes. If it is, if you enter into the middle of the ocean, for example, you find the tides, ups and downs, and the push of the water which reaches the land, it gives some different pressure here. So it have a lots of pushing impact here. This is called waves. Now we are going to see what is the work done by the waves. Okay, due to the overtime of waves, okay, due to the overtime of waves, due to the crush of waves, that means due to the push of waves, okay, there is a source of land creation. Due to the force, why in the push of waves you find a fine soil and a fine silt. In the push of waves you find fine soil as well as fine silt. Okay, when you are just pushing here, along with that wind force, due to this you will have a source of creating a landform. So which gives a different types of landform. Let us, when this formation of waves becomes bigger and bigger, what happened? So if these waves becomes bigger and bigger, what happens? When these waves becomes bigger and bigger, so formation of, due to the heavy waves, action of bigger and bigger. Okay, ma? So due to the action of this, there is a scope of formation caves. Formation of caves. So these caves formation, it has a just, it is not in a normal landform shape, it just having a some different shapes on the land surface. You find some different types of objects which it gives a different formation of lands, like and some waves, due to the waves, some landform might just having a different shapes on the seas and oceans nearby, right. So the when it comes, it will sometimes it turns into some different types of orders and shapes on the. So for example, these are called sea arches, they are called sea arches. Okay, ma? Due to this it will become sea arch. So altogether these process of shapes are also known as these wall like shapes, so they are called as stacks. What are those? They are called as stacks. Okay, Nana? Once again I will just repeat this session, listen carefully. Work of waves. As I have given a clarity about waves, middle of the ocean, when it reaches, it will become a waves, and the middle of the ocean, for some far away distance, it's like a tides. Okay, due to this, the push of the air and wind pressure, how it happens means, it happens due to the gravity and also rotation and air pressure or wind or like in wind pressure, right, gravity, rotation and wind pressure, and just several other factors are there where it has a scope to have formation of tides and waves. So waves is a final portion which reaches the landform. Clear, Amma? Right. So then what happens? While it pushes the, it has a heavy force of wind. Okay. Due to these waves, it has the capacity of creating caves. Sometimes these caves will have a different shapes. Okay, these shapes will be like a arch type of shapes. They are called sea arches. They are called sea arches. When these cavities become bigger, this shape of these shapes of land will become a just this process altogether. This process is called stacks. What is that? Stacks. Clear, Amma? Stack. Just keeping and an area just due to the force of these waves. Finally, the land portion of that region, sea edges region, it has some different types of impact which creates a different formation of land. So this is about the work of waves. Shall we go for the work of wind? Next we are going for the work of wind. So what is wind? Let us analyze the word what is wind. Pressure of air. Pressure of air. How much pressure? Heaviest pressure of air. Let us generally, where do we find the winds? Example, mostly we find the winds near the deserts. So there is a scope of getting wind. These are called predominant. They are called dominant agent winds. Dominant agent winds. Why we are calling dominant agent? The places which gives a source of push of air pressure, okay, Those are called winds. Those are called winds. How we are specifying, or just why we are declaring only deserts we find winds? Because there is a reason. On the earth, if you take the consideration, 1/5 part of land mostly it is occupied, 1/5 part of land is mostly occupied by the desert region. So there is a huge impact to get the there is a lot of influence to get the wind pressure in these regions. Clear, amma? Right. So it creates a source of strong winds which carries a lot of resources along with the air pressure. What are those? Let us have a look here. Let us have a due to this, it creates a scope of strong winds. In these strong winds, what is available? In this strong winds, what is available? You find sand. Okay, next fine soil. You find two characters, one is sand and one is fine soil. So it continues strike, it has a continuous strike. How do we find the air is carrying sand and the air is carrying the fine soil? How do you have proof? Means in the air, whenever it strikes, it has a capacity of carrying the sand, dust, mud, etc. Lot of particles will be carrying which is make a journey along with the force of wind. Then what happens when it gets a good pressure of wind which strikes a large it is having a capacity creation of, due to this force, it is having a capacity of creating large rocks. It has a push of large rocks also, and it has a capacity to create a special landforms only with the air which is carrying the soil. Finally, the soil depositing in one area. This is the source making of different types of landform which are called different types of rocks. Different types of rocks. For example, mushroom rocks. Mushroom rocks. So imagine there are some highest landforms are there around us. How is it possible? How these landforms are very high, how these islands are formed, and all these if you imagine it happens only with the source of the work with the work of wind. Okay, ma? With the only source of work of wind. Clear, amma? Right. So after these, this is how some different landforms and rocks which formed by the only source of only source of the air. Okay, ma? So once again I'll just check you up, just because this is the end part of the second lesson, so that's why just go through it carefully. Once again I'll explain, ma, just listen carefully. Work of wind. Work of wind. So what is wind? It is air pressure. Okay, Nana? So air pressure, how do we find, what are the factors do we get air pressure? It's mostly in desert region. You find mostly in the desert. Why we are observing only in desert regions? Means 1/5 part of land on the earth is completely desert. Okay, it's completely. So then how these desert is occupied by the sand and all those things? Because of the strong wind which gives a push. which gives a pushes, when strong, which gives pushes, and when the wind is breezing, for example, it is moving, it has a capacity, it is carrying, it carries the sand as well as fine soil. So this we can't see, but we feel it, right? Because the air is moving from one place to another place, it has a capacity of carrying this load of sand and fine soil. And apart of this, when it having a continuous strike of the wind force, what happens means it has a capacity to create only with the dust and soil part, only it has a formation of becoming some different types of rocks and stones and some types of rocks. For example, mushroom rocks. Okay, these mushroom rocks are only made by the source of air or wind. Okay, source or air or wind. Shall we go to the next part then? Next, finally, just after this wind, we go for the next part. That is called sand dunes. Okay, next part is finally we have the sand dunes. What is sand dunes? Okay, due to weathering and persistence of wind action, due to the weathering process, we are listening, we have heard in the previous chapter weathering. That means the air has a capacity to break down the rocks into pieces and pieces. It has that capacity. Finally, it will become like a fine sand soil. Okay, when it becomes fine sand. So this have the push of wind, this have an interaction with wind, a large accumulation of fine sand. Due to this push of wind, it carries large part of sand and it deposit in one region. So where these shape, hill shape likewise, not it is not hill shape, but hill shape likewise regions are called sand dunes. Okay, finally we mentioned those areas are called desert regions. Okay, actually this is a different types of sand, as we mentioned with the winds which especially carries these particular lowest types of sand. What is lowest types of sand? Means the loam is very rich in the soil. The loam is very rich in the lime is very rich in the soil. Various types of sand dunes are there. For example, finally, there are some areas in the world very famous, some of the desert regions like the Sahara Desert. In Sahara Desert, we find different types of sand dunes. That means rich loam are available. Okay, Nana? So after this action and vegetation of the human beings, the next part, that means I hope understand up to here. Action and vegetation. What is action and vegetation? Finally, we are ending in the part of last context, action and vegetation. That means here interaction of action or vegetation and human life. Okay, human beings or human life or human. Here, after completion of all the layers and surroundings of the waters and regions, lands and all those things, now we are going to interaction of action of vegetation and human beings. How humans are connected with the life species, life living things. How? That means the living beings which connected to the human beings, what is the segregation, how this complete plants and trees and vegetation, how it helps for the human beings, what is the advantages of these animals which survives like a biome, life. It is connected to this topic. Okay, so I hope you have understand up to this session. We just continue the later part and just will the next class will meet you the new concept. Till then, take care, bye bye, thank you, have a nice day.